doing my check.
Check.
Woot. Okay, we are loud and clear. Boom. Alright guys, so welcome back to 7 Days to Die. It's Tuesday. Ermagerd, we're back. We're gonna jump in the game here, guys. So I'll just grab the save. So this is version 1.04 of the game. It's been updated since we were gone. And good morning, Sean, Andrew, and Thomas. Welcome back. Woot.
Good morning.
Woot. And Thomas is asking, how was the con, Misty? Woot.
Whoop.
Oh, snap.
Alright, so I've got audio.
Woohoo! You do.
It was good. It's like you come back and you're kind of in the post-con depression. Funk.
Right.
I don't know. Oh my goodness.
He survived.
It was a wild ride. I survived. Barely.
Sweet Jesus. Oh god. So what kind of fun time did you have, Misty? Who all did you meet?
I don't want to talk about that right now.
Okay, we'll talk about it this evening, guys, because there's probably going to be a bajillion people that'll ask this morning,
Yes.
and a bajillion people that'll ask this evening, and because there's more people that watch our evening stream who are going to ask.
It was fun though.
And yes, Sean Andrews says he's doing some homework, and happy late Labor Day, Misty and Andrew.
There you go.
Thank you, Sean. I guess we're not allowed to wear white anymore? Is that the rule?
Are you going to invite me to the game?
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Oh, okay, good. I almost accidentally quit. They did. Now it asks you if you... Yeah. So it's just,
okay. Well, that's good.
I almost quit out of the game, but they saved us with the UI this time, I guess. Oops. So there's been some updates to the game, guys. Basically, we're not sure what those were because we haven't really seen too much that's different. Other than
Well, it's patch 3 with a lot of stability and visual updates.
It's true.
So the horde shouldn't lag your game out anymore. The lighting effects, I think they said, inside of buildings was adjusted. The mining helmet was adjusted. But even though apparently the patch was supposed to launch today, but it launched early on PlayStation. We did encounter last night, actually it's the first time I've seen it, where there's that big swath of the world that's disappeared.
Right. That was always something that used to happen to me, though, while I was playing with you. I think that might be some sort of, like, a loading issue between host and... You know
Could
what I mean?
Because we quit out and went back in and it was fine, so...
It's true.
Hopefully it's putting me in here.
I hope so, too.
It looks like it is, it's just taking its sweet time.
Hopefully it doesn't...
And there's supposed to be less disconnects, and I mean, so hopefully that it's just a more stable
you know,
experience
for both of us. I would agree with that. And this is Misty and Andrew's secret hideaway cottage by the burnt biome.
Did you change the level of zombies?
No, it's still on like ultra low.
Well, that's no fun.
Well, I don't know then. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. I mean, just you've got it on cheat mode. You should have it on high zombies.
I see. putting on the pressure.
It's more fun that way.
Oh, okay.
Right? Isn't that what you always told me? It's more fun that way.
It was more fun that way. Now it's more relaxing this way. Oh, God. No, we could turn up zombies. I just figured, like, nighttime, you know, with those mini horrors that show up and stuff and seem to last forever. It's like...
That was before the patch, though.
It's true, but they, you know what I mean.
Okay, so your chicken, I get it.
Yes, that's a huge chicken. Yes. Sean Andrews says he looked up bird snake and it's a real thing. Of course it is.
Well, we know it's a real thing because you're right here talking to us, right? So what is a bird snake? A vile creature.
Ancient Chinese dragon. Boom. They're just like... People have drawn... You know... half bird, half snake creatures before. I'm sure there's like...
Oh, sure.
Some mythological origin somewhere that might talk about a serpent bird or something like that.
Sounds like something the Egyptians might have as well.
Egyptians, Aztecs maybe, you know what I mean? Or like the Incas, because they have a lot of like fancy feathered... Because there's Quetzalcoatl? Quetzalcoatl? I can't pronounce it properly, but that's like their feathered serpent god. So if they got one of those, I don't even know if I should be taking this out. Oh my God, what am I doing? Yeah. Alright. So we're just sort of messing around with the space here. Basically, like, we're waiting on two things, guys. We're waiting on the update for Alpha 15, because that's going to basically make this into a new game. And actually, I wanted to talk to you, Misty, about like a couple of the things, a couple of the nuances, I guess I could say, that I picked up off of the last video that they made. That the direction that they're heading with this game is much more so towards, say, creating like a co-op or single player like video game experience, rather than it being just like this solely based on around survival or PvP kind of thing. Like, that's just sort of where the game is now. But I think the intention is to make it like more like Fallout with co-op. You know, like to get a different take on that kind of stuff. Just because.
What makes you say that? Just from watching the.
Like some of the things the directors, or at least the guy who does the videos has said, makes me think that like he was asked like directly, like, you know, is there going to be more of a focus on some of the PvP aspects of the game? And he talked about like how, you know, he wanted to create more of a fun co-op experience or a survival experience where the zombies are really the main antagonists. And also that like they want to introduce like different factions into the game. So there's going to be like in the next update we're getting like vendors, store owners, I guess you could say, and the store owners kind of represent one faction, with the there's going to be something called the Duke's Casino. And so you've got the Duke's faction, which kind of runs all the money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the casino is going to be something where, like, it has, like, a cover charge to get in, but you can go in and potentially make, like, money on prizes and stuff like that. But if you go in on zombie night, you can pay them to stay as long as you have money. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
that's going to be part of the... Or at least that's, like, something they've talked about. But then they were talking about that there might be... another group of settlers that'll give you missions. I would figure something along the lines of kind of like Red Dead. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Where it's like you have the faction that you're working with, and then there's going to be the bandit faction, which you're probably... I'm imagining you're not going to work with them, but maybe maybe they'll do it so that you can either be a good character or an evil character, and then the other faction becomes your enemy. I don't know how that... You know what I mean? But that's their sort of direction that they're talking about for the game. So it's like, you know, having missions, having, you know, potentially a boss character somewhere in the world, things like that. So it is a fun survival game to play at the moment, but that seems like that's going to change, at least in the direction that they're trying to take things. So I just thought that was interesting, you know?
Sure.
Well, there we go. So apparently a bird snake is a snake with really sharp teeth and a pointed nose that looks like a beak. The real name is a twig snake, but its nickname is the bird snake. So he's talking about, like, there's an actual type of snake that's been nicknamed the bird snake. Sweet Jesus.
Oh, well, there you go.
I gotta look that up. Woot.
And hello, Mike.
Welcome back. Hope you're
And
having a good morning.
Crazy Teen. We're on DC Monday through Friday night. 9 to 11 Monday through Thursday, and 10 to midnight on Fridays.
We just got back from a little vacation, so that's why you might not have seen us for a few days.
And hey, Alchemy.
Welcome, Alchemy Commander. Oh my god.
Good morning, Alchemy. How is Neverwinter?
Yes, we've all been curious. What's the best class? What's the best role? Who has the best powers? And is
I
it
just
any
wish you could zoom in.
good? Right?
Then I would play through. I just don't like that zoomed out perspective.
It's true. They need to do more, like, over-the-shoulder work with MMOs. Like, the over-the-shoulder perspective of Saints Row.
Sure.
Where, like, when you're running around, the camera looks, like, regular, but then when you aim, it goes to that aimed-in over-the-shoulder view. Woot. There you go. So, Sean Andrew, for school, chose to study ancient history and is studying hieroglyphics. Woot!
Nice.
So that is very sweet. Ancient history is a really interesting subject to get into. Archaeology. I don't know if... Misty, have you ever heard of a show called Time Team? You guys have that? Probably not.
I don't think so.
It's like a BBC archaeological team that goes out and digs up stuff, and then they're like, oh, it's a Stonehenge from this period of time, and it just looks like a pile of rocks to you, but you're like, okay. But it's like, man, that would be a nice job to have. Okay, so Alchemy Commander says he's addicted to Neverwinter and he made a rogue character.
Nice.
Are they a dashing rogue? Do they hit on all the ladies, or is it...
That's great, Andrew.
Yeah. And Sean says he started reading DC Rebirth. It's really good, especially Green Lantern and Red Hood. Boom.
Nice.
And in case you guys are all like super bored watching what Andrew's doing, I'm just taking care of some detailing, I guess you would say. Herp de derp. See if I can put.
What are you doing?
I'm putting in some windows. I think I need more minor skill, but don't let me purchase it yet. And dang, diddle dang it. There we go. Too many of these to do. And welcome back, Frosty. Hope you're having a good morning.
Hey,
Mike,
Frosty.
Well,
Andrew's got it on like super low.
I've got it on wuss mode at the moment. Yeah. Just because we were starting a new game. Like, Missy and I started this save last night because of the new update. So, basically I have it on wuss mode still. I'm sure there are some zombies around somewhere. Should I back us out and turn it up?
I think you should crank it up because that adds the excitement of you're working on something.
First day back, no break, no slack.
No.
Oh god. All right.
If it was me, you'd make me do it. So
probably. You want to back out and all?
I'm backing out right now.
Okay, so.
Coming next week is the two of us finding stones.
Pretty much, right? Like, and yeah. Coming this fall, there will be another game, collecting stones in Dinosaur Land, and it looks pretty awesome. I'm just in it.
Oh goodness.
Oh god. Okay, so continue game. Continue game options. Okay, so you guys want like some zombies, right? So very high is like ridiculous. I will put it on high. And hopefully that will work.
That's right, Alchemy. Crank it up to the max, Andrew. What do you mean high?
Oh man. I can't take it, guys.
It's funny when you're hosting the game. It's like, I want to be all cautious. When I'm hosting it, you're like, yeah, Misty, put him on like run and very high.
Well,
Come on, it's fun.
We did all of our tests for science while you were hosting the game, right? And then we took our scientific data and we went back and we were like, yes, these are the things we have learned, and then we adjusted. Okay, well, let's see.
Sean Andrew said, Andrew, I started watching The Walking Dead. It's amazing.
I liked the first couple seasons of The Walking Dead. It kind of got a little bit silly with the governor for me, but then it's like I haven't seen anything after that point, so I've seen like, you know, associated media pictures, stuff like that. Looks interesting, you know. So it could be something worth going back to, especially with there being so many seasons to catch up on. I really liked the Walking Dead Telltale game with Clementine and Lee, and then again with Clementine and the other characters. It's like they did a really good job of those games.
that should be coming soon too. The next season,
The next
the
installment.
third installment.
Do we need to
I'm
like?
excited.
Do we need to like go back and replay the? Because like, I don't have that on PS4.
I don't have it on PS4 either.
You know what I mean? So I would have to replay seasons 1 and 2. I'm pretty
See,
sure
Sean
I
Andrew,
have.
I've heard a lot of people that hate Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, that's too bad. That's their like branch off series or whatever.
Yeah, where the outbreak is first starting. It takes place on the West Coast.
Gotcha.
Or let me know when you're back in, where you can invite me.
Sure thing, Misty.
To host the games, because
I think I'm doing
you're
an
not
okay
very
job.
good at it.
Oh god. Oh god. I think I could like write some pretty good zombie screenplays, you know what I mean? Because for me it's all about like realism, you know? Is this how people act in real life? Is a big thing that gets, you know, overlooked. I
don't know. I think The Walking Dead, they do a decent job sometimes of portraying that.
I think the Telltale game did a good job of some characters, but it's like there are some aspects there where it's like, I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head, so I'm not going to go too specific. But like with the series, just like some of their decision-making process as they get towards like deciding to go to the prison, and like who do they trust, and like let's teach the kids how to use knives.
But you say that, but there are people that would totally do that.
Oh, I'm sure there would. You know what I mean? It's just, I think there's
well, but see, if Sean Andrews just started watching this, don't
sure.
go too far into
Yeah,
it, because you
I
don't
won't.
want to spoil anything.
There's just a lot of decision, or even first season when they're at the store before they make their escape, and like they have all these resources right there next to them, and then they leave to a place that has no resources and like take very little with them. It's kind of like, come on guys, come on, you can do better. You can do better than this. People in the real world would be like, you know, trying to figure out how to get the most out of everything, you know. But
You say that, but then they might not, because, you know,
it's true.
believe me, over the course of the past few days, I've seen a lot of
I'm just saying.
questionable decision making.
I'm just saying an example of what I'm talking about is like in the very first episode when Rick finds them at that store, they're wearing like hockey and baseball body armor, and they have like weapons and stuff, and then like never again is anything like that ever seen ever again. Like it's like you don't even come across like another faction that's like made ad hoc armor and stuff, at least not in anything that I've seen. So I'm just saying that's like, you know what I mean? I think people would be a little bit more resourceful than just, you know what I mean, walking around in the jeans and a t-shirt and hoping that, you know what I mean? It's like, put a sweatshirt on, something, you know, make it harder for them to bite you, you know? I'm just saying. I know that I'm like super critical of it.
You? Nah.
Right. Woot. But I do like the Walking Dead Telltale series because you're kind of in the driver's seat, so insofar as like other people may be making stupid decisions around you, you have a bit of control over whether you're going to make any stupid decisions, which is kind of a nice feeling in a zombie game, you know?
I told you it's a good game.
Yeah. Also, just gonna throw this out there, but like, people talk about how there's like, oh, there's no games with strong female protagonists. It's like, well, I enjoyed The Walking Dead. Yeah. Okay, Little Belly Brown is asking, what did they patch? I guess mostly stability kind of stuff for their server, stuff for connectivity, some minor stuff in the game, like things that we've noticed, you know, here together, is that like when you go to eat, they've changed what quick button it is, and now they're all sort of uniform across everything, so whenever you click on something, you use it or whatever, or if it has recipes, they'll kind of work the same, whereas before it would change depending on whether something was in your inventory or in a box or whatever. And the other thing that they changed that was noticeable is how the flashlight works. This is the flashlight on a gun. And I'm just gonna check.
They changed lighting effects, improved some of the lighting inside of buildings, the way the mining helmet works, as far as the light that comes off of it.
The vehicle light looks pretty much the same, though, I would say. Because, you know, still just like a cone has the same sort of effect on the... I like the new flashlight, though. Now it actually makes a difference to use it instead of the torch. So it's something worth trying to get and acquire, you know?
So this roof can't be...
Oh, you can take off the roof if you want, Misty.
No, I'm just saying it's upgraded as far as it can be, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually like, remember when we did that tower with the metal? It is actually pretty easy to destroy. So we could technically take it off if we wanted to, but I leave that decision up to you. And put up some lighting so we can see. I finally finished cutting the holes like I wanted to, guys, so I'll give that a break for now. Okay, so... Oh, well,
Little Belly, are you guys playing on PS4 or Xbox, and have you both downloaded the new patch? Because and what you may have to do is have your friends start a new game.
Oh, here we go.
Because they said when they keep joining their friend, it keeps crashing.
You might have to start a new game if you haven't.
But make sure you have the patch first.
Yeah.
Where are you and where are they coming from? I can't.
I'm out front of the base. There were just a few runners, but I don't see any more coming at the moment.
Oh, there's one running.
Oh,
oh, there's several.
Leave me alone, foul beasts. Really? I'm a terrible shot in this game. Who am I kidding? Okay.
How many of them are there? Good grief.
That's probably about like 7 total. Something like that. We need lighting. Alright. Time to light this place up like the 4th of July. They can't see us on the moon yet.
Sounds about right.
Okay. So also playing with cheat mode on, guys, because we're waiting for the update for this game, but the other thing that I wanted to talk about is what's happening tomorrow, which is the launch or update of the PS4 Neo and PSVR stuff. So there will be some sort of big party somewhere, and they're gonna launch and announce all that kind of stuff. Oh, here we go. So if you guys are excited about hearing about... Oh, thanks, Misty.
Hey, you stepped into my axe swing.
But yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing probably what it's gonna be is the PlayStation 4K, right? So
I hope so. I'm ready to go buy it.
right? I still need a frickin' TV, and oh my god, yeah. But should be exciting, you know? At least, like, you know, there will probably be announcements of all that stuff, as well as of the games that are coming with it. Like, I don't know.
What time's the conference?
Don't ask me such questions, Misty. I'm not organized.
Well, you brought it up.
I know, right? Well, now you guys know that it'll be happening.
Wonderful.
Yep. That's what I do. Alexa, what time is the PlayStation VR demonstration starting? Oh god. But it should be interesting, one way or another.
We shall see.
We will probably be talking all about it after it happens.
Well, it'll hit all the news outlets and...
Right?
be all over the Facebooks and Twitters.
The Book of Many Faces.
It'll be a nice break from the bajillion. Did you get any photos of me at Dragon Con? Post them here. Post. Like, oh god. Well, at least, I think they said I told you that last night. The final count they announced at closing ceremonies was 77,000 in attendance.
Wow.
So, you got 77,000 people that are depressed.
Right? 77,000 people that paid. Oh god.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
For somebody.
You know? Whoever that is, invite us to your yacht. We'll have fun.
Yeah.
Or invite us to wherever you play video games and we'll hang out. god. Some of this stuff.
I hate when you pick up the wrong stuff out of the
right
menu. Yeah. You're trying to get multiples and it's like, ugh.
I think they heard like a zombie out there, but I'm not 100%. So just be careful.
I'm inside.
Okay.
You think if when Comcast comes today, if I just start laughing, you think that'll...
Laughing maniacally?
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll help, really.
It's like they shouldn't be here again. It's ridiculous. Anyway, red tape.
Right?
There's nothing they can do here except maybe cut the DirecTV line again. That'd be awesome.
Jesus. Oh god, you know, did they cut it because they were frustrated? Herp derp.
They probably cut it because they didn't know what the French they're doing.
You know. Oh yeah, other controversy of the weekend that Misty and I were not here for. Changes to YouTube. And all of that. Hashtag YouTube is over party, etc. and all that kind of stuff that was going on. Like, I guess I'm gonna have to like watch my mouth as we play going forward.
You should be watching your mouth anyway.
Ah, snap. But it's like, it makes it difficult to talk even to our fans about like, say, current events, or like if something happens to them, because if YouTube decides that, oh, that's a controversial subject that you're talking about, you know what I mean? It's like, then we can't monetize the video, and if we can't monetize the video, it's like, that doesn't work towards the goal of eventually being able to, like, you know?
I think that we're fairly neutral here, though.
We're neutral enough. I don't think that we're gonna fall under that, but it's just, you know, like, if something happened, like, they don't want you talking about, like, you know, world events or natural disasters and stuff like that, and it's kind of hard not to talk about stuff like that when people are affected, or people are like, oh my god, have you seen this, or, you know, so it's just...
What exactly has been said? Because there's a lot between what people are saying, what's officially been said, and somewhere in between the middle is the truth.
Sure. I would say, essentially what it is they're doing it for the advertisers, because the advertisers...
I get that.
Right. So, there was a sort of the way that they have like the bot that checks for copyright strikes. There's another bot now that sort of checks for controversial tags on your videos, and even to some degree controversial subject matter within videos. So I don't know exactly how
that would be very hard to...
I'm saying that, like, this is coming from people who have had their videos blocked, and they're saying, like, I'm looking at the video here, and there's nothing in the tags that would particularly set something off. It's only within the content of the video. That's from Philip DeFranco, he's like the one that I sent the video from.
But he's known for...
Sure.
Having... Sure. Yeah. So they're gonna look at someone...
More controversial topics and stuff. But he's been like YouTube's baby for like so long now. Like, he's like one of their top channels, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, the reasons that it's happening are more, you know, from a business standpoint, and like people are starting to figure that out, but it's still a little odd, I guess.
Well, it's just like, all programming goes through censors before, it makes it to television, because for that very reason, advertisers don't want their brand linked with someone saying, X, Y, or Z that might be incredibly bombastic or inflammatory,
Sure.
or be a position that they don't want to be affiliated with, and then somebody could come back and say, well, I watched this video where this guy's opinion was this, and your ad aired during this video, so therefore you are complicit in this person's opinion. So it's a real interesting position for advertisers to be in. And I think what they're going to have to find is advertisers who want to use YouTube as a platform that are
supporting of free
maybe
speech.
more liberal. Well, free speech is, you got to understand what free speech doesn't mean. You have the right to see
I'm just
anything
saying,
you
like,
want.
in the general use that people, you know what I mean, like.
Well, I'm just saying, free speech is that you have the right to say something without fear of prosecution from the government.
I get that from a legal sense. I'm just talking about, like, the term as people use it when they're talking about, like, not being censored, so to speak. So, like, if you have somebody like Boogie2988 who's doing videos talking about, suicide and suicide prevention and stuff like that, and which is a really, important topic to talk about, and YouTube is blocking that because they're like, well, some of our advertisers are worried about people talking about that particular subject. I'm just putting forward that it would be nice if there was, like, a coalition of advertisers that came out and said, like, hey, talking about subjects like this is important to us too. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
And that may be something going forward, that you see more specialized things, maybe
right.
even like treatment facilities or places, mental health centers are things that might advertise.
Right.
Or pharmaceutical companies, or whoever might fit into that.
Whoever wants to support that kind of, like, or any kind of, stuff like that.
It's just when it comes down to it, YouTube is still a company, and it's owned by Google, and so they're going to mandate what they want seen, and I think it's sticky territory that we're kind of all in at the moment, because they're going to try to find, I'm sure, a way to strike a balance between keeping people continuing to create the content, because without the creators there's no YouTube.
Right.
And keeping the advertisers happy. And it's interesting, because this is really uncharted territory, because when you're creating a television show, it's very easy to review the content, put it up there, but now you have live streaming, you have so many people creating content. I imagine it's very hard to police that, to see what's going through and what might be slipping through the cracks, because
sure.
we've all seen, like, the incredibly horrific or offensive thing that makes it through and then is yanked, but not before.
Well,
a bajillion people have seen it.
The one thing that I'm kind of, like, a little disappointed by is, like, sexy jokes are not allowed anymore, apparently, and it's kind of like what counts as a sexy joke?
I think you've got to research that a little further, because I think people are really blowing it up, but it's like, let's see what they start doing. There's a lot of fire behind it right now, but what are they really going to pull, and what are they going to not back?
Sure.
Because I think there's plenty of advertisers out there, I imagine, that wouldn't mind, being on a video that might have, sexier content or whatever. Because you look at some of the ads that are out there, particularly during, like, the Super Bowl or something. I mean, there are companies out there that walk that line in their advertisements.
Advertising during South Park. There are people advertising during Family Guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this. Even the stuff on my level that I'll go to is, like, probably more tame than either of those shows. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know. It's just that, worry in the back of your head, and who is that to satisfy exactly? you know, but oh well, you know.
And the thing is, though, what it comes down to, you can still put that content out there,
It's
but
true.
you may not be able to monetize it.
It's true.
So they're not censoring you. They're just keeping you from monetizing it because an advertiser doesn't want to be affiliated with it. So it's not like it's complete censorship.
Isn't that weird, though? Because it's like playing devil's advocate here. Like, so I let's say I have this imaginary channel where I have, like, you know, one video that has offensive content according to this and one video that doesn't. So it's like, you can come to my channel, right, and I'll have a video that's being advertised on by that company, so they're still supporting me somehow, right? So like are we looking at potentially them, like, you know, banning an entire channel on this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where does... Because, like, are they gonna figure that out at some point and be like, oh no, you know?
We'll see where it goes.
Our sausage rolls are being advertised on this channel that's talking about X, Y, or Z. Oh no. You know? Hopefully, yeah, like, it's just, I don't know.
But part of this is born out of the culture where everybody's perpetually offended. And so advertisers whose bottom line is to make money for whatever product they're pushing, they're going to cave to whatever that social pressure is because their bottom line is money.
Or they're going to offend everybody because they know that that's good advertising.
You have a lot of advertisers that aren't going to do that, though, because they're afraid.
It's true.
But I don't think we, particularly because we make virtually no money here at Dork Ninja Gaming, are in any trouble.
Right.
You know, it's like, and there are other places, if you want to go make incredibly, you know, controversial or offensive material,
right,
throw a little money at a blog and knock yourself out.
Right.
You know, or find other platforms to do that. So I don't think we're in any major danger yet.
That's true. It just, it kind of feels like it sucks to not be able to address, like, current events and stuff like that because,
well, you can. You just may not be able to monetize it. You can still address it all day long.
It's true.
You can put your opinion out there. And if it doesn't get monetized, oh well. Because if it's something that you're incredibly passionate about and you feel like needs to be said, then, you know.
Sure.
It'll just be one. It's just like, you know, like putting Saints Row out there and we can't monetize that. Putting Star Wars videos out there, we can't monetize those. We still do it on occasion. So.
Yeah. So, just going back to answer chat here. Sorry that Misty and I have sort of been off in our own little conversation land. But how do you find a claw hammer? Keep looking at the what is it called? The Working Stiff Tool Store. If you can find a Working Stiff Tool Store, you might be able to find a claw hammer there. What you really want is the magazine or whatever, so that you can read it, and then just be able to make it from your forge, or forge the iron for it. And Thomas, yeah, it's weird because he, like I would assume that what they mean is that they, like, you can't talk about natural disasters in an exploitative or hateful way, you know what I mean? Hopefully you can still address, like, oh my god, there's flooding in somewhere, or, you know, a volcano just erupted, and, you know what I mean? Like, or there's an earthquake here, if you're living here, watch out, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully that kind of stuff, like, is not going to affect anything, but the, I think their intent is to be, like, you know, for people who are, like, saying, like, oh, you know, look at what these people did, they deserve it, or something, you know what I mean? Like, I could see why you would want to maybe not have advertising on a video where somebody's putting out ideas like that, you know? So hopefully, you know, it's not too crazy, but just from the way that it's worded, if there's something that they don't want you to talk about, like the thing that made me worry is that it's like, you know, is this, you know, is World War III starting, and this is their way of clamping down so that, you know, we can't, they don't want us to
monetize. They're not keeping you from saying it.
It's true. It's true.
It all comes down to the advertisers not wanting to be attacked for, oh my God, you know.
You support.
It's like both sides of the coin.
X, Y,
it's like,
it's true.
It was like the Target bathroom controversy and whatever side you were on there. And so Target sides one way, and then there's a group of people who are like, we're boycotting Target because of the whole bathroom issue.
Right.
And Target wouldn't want to advertise on a site where someone who was, you know, arguing their religious reasons why, or, you know, whatever other reasons that they may have for not wanting
so that makes
shared
sense.
restrooms or whatever.
You know, that does kind of make things easier for them to sort of be like, yeah, we don't have to monetarily support these kinds of views and stuff. I just, going back to my earlier idea, I hope that there's like a group of advertisers that gets together and says, like, you know, here's the kinds of videos that we do want to, you know, support, you know. Positive videos, you know, videos that are trying to help people or make a difference or all that kind of stuff, you know.
Sure.
We had more visitors. Okay. Well, of course. Hello, nurse. Too many Saturday mornings watching anime. And welcome back, Kyle. And I'm still on the side of the fence where it's like, how do you know we're not pirates, man? It's like, how do you know? We could be wearing ninja disguises.
Hello, Kyle.
Let's see here. Yeah, Thomas is basically saying here, be no different than people talking about religious preferences, so that's what we were saying. He says he doesn't know the rules as far as what can be monetized. If you want to find out more, like, there's a ton of information out right now, especially because everybody's been talking about it. So it's just like, not that the rules have changed, but that the rules changed a while ago and now they're just really starting to enforce it, so people started noticing it. So we'll see how it all goes. I don't know. Who knows? think I need to dig out in front of the house.
What are you building? Or what are you doing?
Digging out the basement. Kind of. Like, at this point, it's just basically putting the house on stilts, but...
You're putting in the basement?
Yeah. It's just hard to tell.
Good lord.
You don't like my basements, Misty?
Eh. They're okay.
It's a safety measure. In case we get attacked from below.
Is Mole Man coming up to get us?
He might be.
I doubt it.
The designer of this game's name is Mad Mole. Maybe he's digging underneath. Coming up
Indeed.
to getcha. Well, it's sort of like, I don't want to collapse the whole house by accident.
I would prefer that you didn't. Just putting that out there.
It would be pretty entertaining though, wouldn't it? Like,
No.
the viewers would get a kick out of that.
Uh-huh.
Misty's like, I would kick you too, Andrew.
I would just be like, okay, it's been great seeing you guys.
Yeah.
See you next time. Where I'll be hosting the game and not inviting Andrew.
Pretty much, right?
They haven't given any sort of timeline, though, for the Alpha 15, have they?
Not really. I saw like some other people maybe have put up videos this morning maybe talking about it, so I didn't check those. Maybe there's some more information or something out now, but I don't really know.
Gotcha.
I would assume hopefully we'll be seeing that soon. Because like they've been doing videos of it for a little while now, kind of in its finished state, you know? So it leads you to believe,
It's
like,
true.
you know?
I saw a lot of notifications of their YouTube videos when I was gone.
Right?
More gameplay, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how that all goes, you know? Oh, okay, nice. So Thomas says last he's heard from Joel there that it's been sent to Sony for approval, which could take
Okay.
a little bit of time. Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they say. I've heard,
That's good news, though.
you know? Something to look forward to. Oh my god, the gaming landscape is a barren desert, guys. Oh my god. What games are you guys like looking forward to? Is there anything on the horizon that you guys are like, oh my god? Nothing? Crickets? Save now. I don't think it works like that. Was it? There was something that they said about being able to back up your saves. I don't know. I don't know how that all works.
Wait, what are you doing?
Somebody said save now before I collapse the house.
Well, you must have seen our previous work.
Right?
Just as long as you don't fire like a rocket launcher or
Explosive barrel down here.
yes.
Aww. But that was gonna be fun.
I'm gonna go move to a new house.
There we go, guys. Alright. Well, she's not gonna fall over now. Because if she's gonna fall over, she would have done it already. And good morning, Batman X. Welcome back. Woot.
Good morning.
Okay, so Thomas is saying Horizon Zero Dawn. There you go. That is the one with the red-haired bow lady and the giant walking mechanized giraffes and rhinoceroses. Woot. It does look interesting, you know. Kind of like, what is it, Brave? From Disney?
Meridia?
Yes. I'll be interested to see, like, you know, how big the game is. If it's like open world exploration, or, you know, how that's all done. Fertile dirt. So I guess now I need to make this place one deeper. Probably a little bit further out this way. Yeah. Okay. Oops.
Excuse me.
Thomas, like, when you get a chance, look up a trailer called Pray for the Gods. Not pray like praying your prayers, but like pray as in, you know, predator and prey. Search Pray for the Gods. And just check out that trailer. This looks pretty interesting too. But, like, I hope, like, longevity-wise for Horizon Zero Dawn that it would be close to, like, maybe a God of War game or something like that, at least. I don't know if it'll get on the same level as far as combat. But it does look interesting, you know? Something with some flavor to it, at least. It's just too bad it's not co-op. Because then Misty and I can't play it together. Dang it. Yes, that's the one, Thomas. Woot. And Douglas Kirkland says that reminds him of enslaved. I've never actually... I can't for the life of me remember or if I've heard of what enslaved is. Doesn't ring any bells for me. So I'll have to look into that. How's it going up there, Misty?
I'm bored.
Oh, you want to come down here and help me?
I'm doing something, but it's just boring.
Aw. What would make it exciting? Do I need to collapse the house?
No.
Oh.
Please don't. It's just tedious going through this menu trying to find what you need sometimes.
You know? Nah, I hear you.
Or you find it, but then your thumb's already in motion and you hit the roulette yet again.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope there's some, like, I hope we find out tomorrow that there's some, like, super uberly awesome, like, 4K games that they've been, like, holding out on releasing any information about until the announcement of the 4K. Yeah, I'm sure there won't be, but, you know. Okay, I'll check it out, Douglas. I'll definitely take a look. And welcome back, Giovanni. Hope you're having a good Tuesday.
Good morning, Giovanni. I want to try out VR, but I want to try it out because...
Right?
I'm afraid that it's going to make me sick. I wonder if they'll have something set up, like at GameStop or somewhere.
Hopefully, right? Because if they want to sell it to people, they're gonna need to try it out. My real worry is, like, you know, when you went away for the con this weekend, I like opened up my video games cabinet, which I haven't done in forever because I haven't needed to go in there for anything, and just like I've got like PlayStation Move peripherals and chargers and like the gun attachments that you put them in and like all this kind of stuff. I'm like, did I use them ever to play anything? No. You know what I mean? It's like, no, really didn't, you know, even bother to like after, what was it, Sports Champions? You know, and then there was like some first-person shooter came out that had the controls, and like I tried it and it didn't really work, so it wasn't very fun to play. I tried what was the fighting one? There was some sort of like, it wasn't like MMA, but like you were like boxing fight night or something like that.
Part of the problem with that, though, is because it didn't work well.
Right.
And so you're kind of like, well, the experience is clunky. It's not, you know, obviously the Wii did it better.
Right.
And so when it lands up just being kind of a gimmicky frustration, you're not gonna use it. And that's, I guess, where we'll have to see how the VR headset.
And then, well, like, even then they made it, right? But then it was like video game companies didn't really like continue to push out new content for it. You know what I mean?
Because it sucked.
Right. And the thing that worries me is that that's like the direction they're going with the VR, is like pushing the Move again. Or at least it's like a new
We'll see. It depends on
controller.
what kind of experience you're able to have.
That's true.
If it makes a lot of people sick, if you don't like wearing it, you know, all of those things are going to go into the longevity of it. Yeah. And it looks bulky, and it looks like something that would definitely start, for me, to like bother me.
You know, make your neck sore after, like, you know.
It'd probably hurt my head before it would hurt my neck. Just like sitting, you know. I'd have to see how heavy it is hanging off the front of your face, you know, just. And you get all sweaty under it. I can't even like wearing like a mask, you know, like I don't like the feeling of that.
Right.
Just like an eye mask.
So it'll definitely be something to see how that all works out. Like it's one of the things where it's like, even if it is like the bee's knees, everybody's like, oh my god, you have to have it. Like I would say like wait a year. You know, because ultimately it's going to be cheaper for you, right? You're going to have like, you're going to be able to buy like all those games for like, you know, half price or less, you know what I mean? And then give it a really good try and see if it's something that, you know what I mean? Because like the other thing is, you know, you could put it on and play it with one game, and that one game be like super terrible, and you're like, horrible experience, never want to do this again, right? But it's like, what if there's some other game out there that if you had done that instead, it would have been like, oh man, I really like this thing, you know? But I do think you're right about it. Looks like it's going to have limited capacity for long-term fun. Just simply based on size and all that kind of stuff. That's right, you stick to the ceiling torch, because that makes sense. I'll check here. Kyle's telling us to go somewhere new on the mini bikes. We are somewhere new. Woot!
See?
And thank you, Giovanni, for liking our videos. We definitely appreciate it, because that's like what helps us get noticed, you know?
Thank you, Giovanni.
Woot! And welcome back, Kimmy. Hope you're having a good morning.
Good morning, Kimmy.
Stick another torch here. There we go.
Are you gonna want the entrance like through what used to be the bathroom? Do I need to dig a hole in the floor there?
Sure.
Or like...
I think we need two. Like a way in and a way out, kinda. So I have one with staircase coming off of that side hallway that I'd built. So I think that'll work well. I think like I'm gonna call this a little bit right now before it happens, but like I get the feeling that like when the VR comes out, that like those people that are looking for that kind of experience are gonna like so overhype how cool it is,
because, you know, because it's something they like and what they're looking for, they're gonna just like try to self-reinforce that coolness factor. Oh my god, guys, so amazing. It's like, yeah. Is it really though?
You got to try it out for yourself to formulate your opinion.
It's true.
I think it's going to make a lot of people sick.
I would agree with that. And like, okay, here's the other thing is that you've had the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive out for a while now. Like, those things already exist, and they say that there's been like a slowdown in you know, game companies willing to produce and do stuff on them and all that kind of stuff, because there hasn't been a lot of like continued interest, so to speak. So like, Sony is lucky that it has the sort of built-in audience that it does, and it says that it's bringing out like 50 VR games by the end of the year.
Oh wow.
Right? So that's like a... I would be surprised if there wasn't at least one thing in there that I was like, oh man, that looks cool. You know what I mean? Because there's probably going to be like, you know, 25 to 35 games that I'm just like, nope. You know? But, you know, there's probably going to be a handful of games that are like, oh, that could be interesting for 5 minutes, or that could be cool. But there's probably going to be at least one that you're just like, oh man, you know, skiing and, you know, virtual reality actually looks kind of cool, or rock climbing, or space exploration. Who the heck knows, you know? But then is it worth the purchase just for that one experience, you know? Have you ever tried virtual reality before, Misty?
No. And that's why I want to try it. Like,
Totally.
when I went to the gaming convention back in the summer, they had where you could try out one, but the line was like crazy long. I was just like, and I really wasn't too keen on putting my face into something that like a bajillion other people just had their face shoved up in. Yeah, because questionable people in line.
Right.
Questionable hygiene.
Right.
I was like, yeah, they were wiping it down, you know, but I need to see you like sanitize that with,
you know, put it into the incinerator.
Fire.
Right.
Something.
Oh god. Because this is like way, way, way back in the day. I went to like I don't even know what it is. I'm gonna say technology fair of some sort. Like, this is like when I was like maybe 10 years old or something like that. So, but they had a setup there where it was virtual reality, and you got to think about virtual reality back in the time of like Virtua Boy. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure.
So what they had was a setup where you would stand inside a ring. They'd put the goggles on your head, and you had a gun, and then whatever part of the ring that you pointed the gun over would be the direction your character would walk in. And then you could like aim the gun and shoot it. And so it was basically like looked like a polygonal, like Tron world, kind of like colored lines and colored blocks. Like, just things were just made out of shapes. They were no no definition. Looked like the human character that you were playing as looked like a crash test dummy. And I got to like go, and I was playing against the other person that was there, and like we shot each other a few times. You know what I mean? But like that's like the only experience of VR that I've like ever had, aside from like Virtual Boy, which I wouldn't really count as.
No.
Right. But it'll definitely be interesting to see. Where it all goes.
And I'll check comments here.
Well, there you go. Sorry about your armory situation, Kimmy.
They still haven't gotten that fixed.
Dang it.
You gotta keep on them.
Keep harassing them.
Yep, customer service. They're the ones.
Excuse me.
And I agree with you, Thomas. I think virtual reality does limit the genre of games that are available. Because it's like, how do you do a third-person game? Third-person camera perspective in virtual reality. And if you are doing a third-person camera perspective in virtual reality, what's the point of virtual reality, you know?
Oh, God.
You okay?
Yeah.
What are you giggling about, Misty? Come on now. Share with the class.
Oh, God. Someone in my household just walked in with a full-length blonde wig on. So.
There you go.
Oh, God.
RuPaul's Drag Race ain't seen nothing yet.
It looked more like this is Spinal Tap, but
There
yeah.
you go. There you go.
Oh, God.
There you go.
You just never know what you're going to see around here.
How is is it All Stars? Has it started?
It started, but it started too close to me getting ready for Dragon Con, so I haven't actually watched any episodes yet.
Dang it. So curious. Take away some of these roof torches here.
I'll check back here. Woot.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Thomas. Misty, something happened to your mic and it sounds muffled again, but I don't think there's really anything we can do about it. Once again, hashtag Comcast issues, I think.
Probably.
Right?
Honest to God. So it may kick me. Who knows what it's doing.
Being all weird.
Just let me know if it corrects itself.
Sure.
I hate Comcast.
Right? They're listening right now.
No, they probably wouldn't be able to because the connection sucks.
Right. Connection sucks because they're using all your bandwidth listening to you. Yeah. We need new games, Misty. Why is PlayStation torturing us? I don't even know what the next, like, game to be excited about is. Now that they've moved Final Fantasy.
Right?
You know? And have you seen, like, okay, I keep seeing advertisements for Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive. I don't know what the heck that is, but, like, do we need to buy 2 games? Like, what's going on? Like,
Isn't there the movie?
oh, okay, maybe it's a movie. Interesting. That could be something fun to watch. Did a good job on Advent Children, yeah. I have no idea what Misty is doing upstairs, guys. Like, all I hear is buttons being furiously tapped. It's making me curious, but I don't know if
It's nothing exciting, so don't strain your brain.
It's already strained, Misty.
Don't strain it any further. Am I still muffled?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like, I can still hear you, you know what I mean? I'll check here. Oh god, I've seen some videos of people freaking out with VR goggles on, Kimmy. I haven't seen the one of the old lady. I've seen the one of the guy, like, on the roller coaster. Quote unquote. He was having a good old freak out. I've seen somebody playing, like, virtual baseball fully whack somebody in the head who was sitting next to them with their imaginary baseball bat. Oh god. I think there's gonna be a lot of people with broken furniture or broken, you know, lamp. Stuff like that. There were people, like, breaking their TVs with the Wii when it came out.
Oh yeah, they would sling the...
Right? Sling their sling blades. Oh god. Did you play much Wii, Misty?
Yes. But I don't want to keep talking if I sound muffled.
Aw. Are you self-conscious about the muffling?
Well, I can't imagine it sounds good.
It doesn't sound so bad actually right now. It's kind of getting back to normalized. Let us know in the comments, guys. Can you hear Misty good again, or is it all weird? Dang. What time are we at? We're getting this. Okay, Thomas says you sound better now too, so I think it's okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you do sound better.
It's the stupid little... That's the problem, is it's those little dips, you know?
Right.
And... I don't know what... I'm beyond frustrated. Like,
Yeah.
just... beyond.
Oh god.
Bulletproof asks, excuse me, does anyone know why when I'm building a wall and I put a concrete block in the same spot of the wall collapses? Is it some type of glitch?
No.
Yeah, I would ask what Thomas is asking. Maybe there's not enough support. What are the other blocks?
Basically, think of it like this. Each block has a weight. I can show you here, like these steel blocks, right? So it says mass 20, max load 320, right? So the maximum amount that you can hang off of the side of this is 320 pounds. And each of these blocks weighs 20 pounds, let's say. So I don't know what 320 is divided by 20 because I'm not good at math. But let's just call it 16 or something, you know what I mean? So you can hang 16 blocks off the side of this with one support underneath, or, you know, like just one supported tower, 16 blocks off the side. If you put a 17th block on, it's too heavy and it'll all collapse, right? But, it, you know, just, you got to kind of keep those figures in mind when you're building. Oh, Captain to the bridge. Oh god. Oh god. Food. So basically, like, the suggestion that I'll give you is, like, you need to put more, like, you see how here, how every so often I've put a support block. If I just did this, all of this with just one support, the house would fall down, right? So the heavier the thing is you're trying to put up, the more support you need. So if you're trying to build something concrete and you're building it on top of, say, wood, for instance, that might not work so well, and you might need to build the base out of the same material that you're trying to build the other stuff out, if that makes any sense. Get a new shovel. Also, Misty, I don't remember if I told you, but there's shotguns in the box above the mantle that are fully customized.
Okay.
Okay, that might just be a random, like, glitched block in the game itself. I've kind of run into problems like that before. It may just come down to you might not be able to place anything there. Or there might be some other block that's interfering with it somehow. So if you, like, blow up everything around it and try to rebuild it, that might work, but I can't make you any promises there. It sucks when there's just, like, one random block somewhere that, like, oh, I can't place something here, and it's ruined my entire plan for how I wanted to set up this base, you know? Let's put these guys out. So, like, here, I need to put 2 blocks underneath this pillar, guys, but I'm worried that if I take this pillar out, there's not a whole lot supporting it in every direction. So what I'm going to do is, next to the pillar, I'm going to build a temporary pillar. It's
so that I can go in and dig this stuff out. Place those 2 blocks, and then I can go back and take out the pillar. Right? That's the safe way of, yeah. Misty's like, yes, Andrew, don't collapse the house.
Do not collapse the house.
Right. Almost had this all dug out though, so that will be nice. Like if we were playing this as to like a regular save, this base would be like super awesome because it's on a river and it has a ton of clay underneath it. Which is what you need for all this steel and iron. Still takes too long to dig in this game though, man. I made like a...
Why aren't you using the auger? Or is it just because it's hard to control?
Hard to control, noisy, bounces all over the place, you know what I mean? Like it's not the most fun tool to use in the game. It's the same thing though for the chainsaw, like, I don't know. I just wish that it was more single target, no recoil. Yeah.
Did you just start the basement just because, or is there a reason that you didn't finish the porch as far as closing it in?
I like to live life on the wild side, Misty. Yeah, we probably need to enclose the porch tunnel. Probably be a good idea.
I just wasn't sure what your plan was, but we're getting close to time being up anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to leave this for now. Okay. I was going to ask you what you think about that sort of defensive tunnel or area around the base. Like, do you think that one high slit of bars is good enough, or should we do 2 high?